Hi there, this is Esti. I'm also known as Esti Rose or T Rosify.
Since I last heard from
I
you.
better do something about that. Anyway, so this is the start of a playthrough for Fail Frame, the first of the Fail Frame games. I have all 4 of them, including the Project Zero Wii edition. And I'm going to go through each of them, presuming that nothing happens with my capture stuff. Okay, so let's get going, and I'm going to be quiet.
I wonder how long it's been since my brother and I began to see things other people can't see. My big brother, he was so sweet and kind. He was the only one I could open up to about these visions. After our mother died, he was my only family.
So this is Himuro Mansion.
My brother was in search of someone. Junsei Takamine, a famous novelist, and a man my brother was very indebted to, disappeared while researching a book. When he told me that he got a lead on Mr. Takamine's whereabouts, I felt uneasy, like he was going far away.
The forbidden rituals of this area. It looks like Mr. Takamine was doing research into them. I wonder if his group is still here.
So this is Mafuyu. He is not always well loved in fandom. You'll see why by the time we get to the end of the game. We get to play him for this chapter. He's kind of the tutorial character. By the way, he will not leave this place. Here is where we can find the first hidden ghost. That is the ones that you can't immediately see. Let's see. Oh, there we are. Child Behind. Very first ghost of this series is basically a image of a kid. Anyway, this will have layer significance. It's the angry mask. Yeah, there's a great big hole in the floor. Makes doing this in battle mode really interesting, but you don't otherwise really run into ghosts here. Well, wandering ghosts. here is our save point. Do not ask me why it's a camera. I apologize for the static. I sometimes hear my PS2 is having issues. In every other version of Fatal Frame, those are lamps. They make a whole lot of sense more than cameras on pedestals. It's hard to explain from a game point of view why in the heck there would be cameras on pedestals, especially in places where the only person that would have had cameras would have gone. So, by the way, that is a vanishing ghost, and they're called vanishing ghosts because they're only, you can only see them briefly, as opposed to hidden ghosts where they're there but you have to find them, and hostile ghosts which attack you. There are a couple of vanishing ghosts you absolutely cannot get, and this is deliberate. We'll see one in a moment. That's another vanishing ghost. This one and the last one are Mr. Takamine, the guy that Mifuyu's looking for. But I'm going to get to him in a sec, as I want to get this vanishing ghost. Or hidden ghost. He's not vanishing, he's hidden. Anyway, so you see this clock here? It'll be more important in the second night. And basically, it doesn't work. Some people think that the indicator for Angry Man is coming from there. Come on, Mifuyu, run. But it's not. Pick up shiny.
This notebook. It's Mr. Takamine's. That was Mr. Takamine. So he did come here.
This is the first hostile ghost of the series. It's basically the tutorial on how to attack or how to fight ghosts. A little bit close for comfort, but it will get me more points for Miku's camera upgrade later, so it's not the end of the world.
Captured a ghost with this camera. This camera has the power to expose things the normal eye can't see. I remember the incident from which I learned of its unique power to capture ghosts.
Voice acting in this game isn't that great. And the ghost that was walking down there, you really can't capture. That is Tomoe. She was part of the novelist group. We're going to just follow her to our doom. By the way, we'll get to meet this screen later in chapter 1, and you can tell there's a door behind it, but there's a stupid bit that I'll go into in a minute involving that screen. But first I have to lead Mufuyu to his doom. Come on, Mufuyu.
It's been 2 weeks since I last heard from my brother. But he left a note that led me to this place. I felt as though something was calling me here. Mufuyu. My brother was here. What is this place? Did someone just...
That person crying for help is the younger version of Kyrie. She is one of our few helpers in the entire game. She also spooks the heck out of you. So, you notice that this is now in color. Oh, you can actually see a little bit of the stuff under it. Anyway, but she gets stuff in color. The reason that Mufuyu's chapter is black and white is because it's a memory quote-unquote of sorts. We're just going to save here. What you want to do is save early, save often, because even if you're experienced, basically it's really easy to botch a fight. Now there's about to be a ghost that we can't catch on this run through. And there he is. Did you see how the light on the camera suddenly went red while he was there? That's how you tell when there's a ghost running about. Yeah, Koji's kind of gone crazy by this point, and he's kind of dead. So, you cannot capture him on this run-through because you don't have the camera yet. You can if you play New Game Plus, a second game with your save data, because you'll have the camera. Oh yeah, I'm going here.
something happen to my brother?
Okay. So basically, Mafuyu got captured by Kyrie. We'll see him at various and sundry parts of this game, because for some reason Kyrie let him run loose, but then it makes no sense how his camera ended up right there. I think it would be a good thing since he was getting chased around by ghosts. He'd already fought a hostile one. We do not know why his camera's sitting there, right at the end of the rope hallway, which is what this is. Now, they're basically Japanese renders notebook a little bit differently. So when they say notebook, it actually is a scrap of paper. In this case, it actually is a notebook. And there's some very interesting important files in there that we'll read across later. The family that tried to live there was the Munakatas, and if anybody had been able to write a book on what happened there, it would have been Ryuzo Munakata, the head of the family, the father, because basically that was his trade. He was a folklorist. Yeah, one of them's very important, as I said, but that's not what I'm worried about now. Koji's kind enough to stick around long enough for us to get his picture. There are much harder times to get Koji. We will be seeing a lot of him for the first part of this. Okay. Now pay attention to where Miku kind of tilts her head, because that usually means there's stuff in there. Yeah. The staircase is not always broken, but for right now it is, so we'll just go up this one where Mafuyu was going. Basically, always follow the ghosts. Now, there's some things you have to do to trigger certain events, and one is try this door. If you don't try that door, you won't get anywhere. It is stupid. Okay, so you have to be kind of careful here. And the reason you want to be careful is Koji's kind of slippery. There's nothing in there, by the way, so we'll just keep going and we'll go back down. Now on these stairs, you're going to be very careful. Or you will do what I did and completely miss Koji. And I'm going to pause for a moment, and then we're going to see one of the sillier parts of the early game.